Juan Mendez Scott's Pool Party, Chapter 7. The Storm Inside. The June night continued with thick humidity, the scent of chlorine getting lighter with the mix of cologne and perfume, and the barbecue smoking meat. The party was still going strong, the bass of the rap music vibrating through the ground, laughter and shouts punctuating the steady beat. I moved through the crowd, my eyes scanning for Leona, but she was nowhere to be found. Panic started to claw at my chest, a cold dread seeping into my bones. I tried to keep it together, to not let anyone see how rattled I was. What if she left with Chris? The thought gnawed at me, an insidious whisper that wouldn't be silenced. I wandered through the yard, past the pool, searching for any sign of them. Then I saw it, Chris's brand new Benz parked near the woods, among the other cars of the partygoers. Relief washed over me, quickly followed by suspicion. Why would they be in his car when the party was right here? I approached the car, the noise of the party fading slightly but still present in the background. As I got closer, I noticed the windows were fogged up. My heart sank, a heavy weight settling in my chest. I moved closer, my footsteps almost silent on the grass, and I could hear faint sounds coming from inside the car, sounds that confirmed my worst fears. Through the fogged-up window, I could barely make out the shapes of Chris and Leona. They were entangled, moving together in a way that made my stomach churn. I felt a mix of anger, heartbreak, and betrayal, my emotions a tangled mess that threatened to overwhelm me. I wanted to punch something, to scream, to make them stop. But I couldn't knock on the window, couldn't let them know I was watching. So I turned away, my hands clenched into fists, and walked back to the house, each step heavier than the last. I made my way down to the basement, my sanctuary, and collapsed onto the old, worn couch in the game room. The familiar smell of stale popcorn and dust filled the air, but it did nothing to comfort me. I tried to think of ways to get back at Chris and Leona, to make them pay for this betrayal, but my mind was a chaotic swirl of anger and hurt. Blake found me there, slumped on the couch, staring at nothing. "Ace, what's going on, man? You look like you've seen a ghost running around in here wearing your clothes." "I saw them, Blake," I said, my voice hollow. "Chris and Leona, in his car, together." Blake winced, sitting down next to me. "Damn, man, that's rough. What are you gonna do?" "I don't know," I said, frustration lacing my words. "I want to get back at them, but I don't even know where to start." Blake thought for a moment. "Maybe you should just confront them. Confront everybody. Jenna, Leona, and Chris. Tell them how you feel. Just tell them what's up." "That's not gonna solve anything," I snapped. "They'll just start crying and arguing about it. I need something more." "Like what? You can't just go around kicking people's asses and wrecking cars or some shit like that. You'll get yourself in trouble." "I know that," I said, my anger simmering just below the surface. I need them to feel what I'm feeling, to understand how much this hurts." Blake nodded slowly. "Okay, so what's the next plan to smash Leona?" "When Chris is smashing her as we speak." I shook my head, my mind a blank. "I don't have one. That's the problem." Blake sighed. "Look, as your friend, I think you should let this go. But if you're set on revenge, you need to be smart about it. No crazy-ass stuntman shit. Okay?" I looked at him, the weight of his words settling on me. "I swear to God, I won't do anything stupid, but I need to do something. I can't just let this slide." "All right," Blake said, his tone resigned. "Just be careful, man." We sat there in silence for a while, the sounds of the party muffled but still present. The anger inside me was like a storm, swirling and building, but beneath it all was a deep sadness, a sense of loss that I couldn't shake, the loss of Leona, when I never had her in the first place to lose. "What if it doesn't work?" I asked, barely above a whisper. "What if this shit backfires in the most fucked up way?" Blake shrugged. "Then you move on. Find someone else to smash behind Jenna's back. You're a good guy, Ace. You don't need to waste your time on people who don't appreciate you." "But what if I can't?" The question hung in the air, heavy and unanswered. The door to the basement creaked open, and we both looked up to see Jenna standing there, her eyes wide with concern. Ace? You okay? You've been down here a while. I forced a smile, though it felt brittle. Yeah, just needed some air. The party's a bit much. Jenna nodded, not entirely convinced but willing to let it go. Okay, just checking. We're all worried about you, the way you've been acting. Thanks, Jenna, I said, appreciating her concern. I'll be up in a bit. She left, and Blake turned to me. You've got people who care about you, Ace. Don't forget that. And don't fuck that up. I nodded, trying to hold on to that thought. But as the night wore on, the doubts crept back in, stronger than ever. The sight of Chris and Leona together was burned into my mind. A painful reminder of the love for my best friend's girl I had lost and what I had to overcome in knowing I couldn't have her. Something had to change. And as I sat there in the dim light of the basement, I knew that whatever happened next, I had to be ready for it. The storm inside me wasn't going away. It was just beginning.